welcome to the Crooked Letter Sports Podcast, a show about Mississippi sports and the folks who play them. I'm Tyler Cleveland, joined as always by Mississippi Today sports columnist and my dad, fresh off a wonderful Father's Day, Rick Cleveland. Dad, was your weekend everything you thought it would be and more?
It was pretty good. I was pretty much a couch potato. I did cook a little bit. You
did cook a little bit, and we could do an entire show just about that with how well it went. Got to give a huge head nod to Mom, who came through with the tomato pie to go with everything else that was, and the blueberry yum dessert.
You know, when we all get to heaven, there's going to be lots of tomato pie.
Well, I hope so. If it ain't, I don't want to go. So we ate big, and we also had one of the most fantastic sporting events that happens every year to watch was the U.S. Open. Of course, everybody knows the J.J. Spaun kind of won a war of attrition on Sunday after the rain delay. He was the only one that really came back with any juice. I think after the delay, I think they were on like the seventh or eighth hole when it happened. He was under par.
He needed it to happen.
Right. He was spiraling. He made 5 straight fives to open the round.
He bogeyed 5 of the first 6 holes.
Yes, which sounds all too familiar for me. Usually when I either start drinking or stop caring, one or the other. But he held it together, came back. He was actually under par, I think 2 under after that. Only player in the field to finish under par.
It was just a great story. If you ask me right now, the 3 most memorable golf tournaments I've ever remembered watching, it would be Nicklaus winning the Masters in '86, Tiger winning it when his Nike ball, famously in slow motion dropped into the cup on 16 at the Masters, and then this.
Really? You put it up there?
Oh, it was just what he achieved. This is a guy who, as I wrote yesterday, dropped out of the Sanderson Farms Championship last October after 1 round. Nobody even noticed.
Yeah.
He was the definition of a journeyman pro. And to summon what he summoned, given all the circumstances, including, the toughest golf course we've ever seen, I think, without question.
Yeah, I was going to ask you about that. I did read your column, and I guess used a lot of words in there to describe his performance on Sunday, but I think resilient probably is the key one. It challenged those players, and I think there's a lot of golfers out there who are watching that who pretty enjoying this. These guys usually make it look easy, and
normally, as I wrote, normally it takes 25 under these days to win a golf tournament on the PGA Tour. Shout out to Randy Watkins, our guest last week. We're sitting here last week at this same table, and Randy said, I'd take even right now.
Right. And it would have beaten everyone but one player in the field. What's crazy is, what if you had a bet that no one in the field would finish under par?
And then he makes the
64-footer to shoot 1 under for the tournament.
Let me assure you of this point. He would have gladly settled for a 2-putt.
Didn't need it. Exactly.
He would have gladly settled for a 2-putt. He's just, what I'll remember for a long time about this tournament is how he never changed expressions until they gave him the trophy.
Yeah.
And he smiled.
Yeah. Yeah. And it was almost like a, is this really happening smile? It wasn't even, I think once he got to his 2 little girls that were there that were just as cute as they could be, I think that's when it kind of got sunk in for him and he got to enjoy it a little bit. Until then, I think he was probably just in shock.
Yeah. I think it also shows us what we host here in Jackson every year. He's played here 5-6 times. Mm-hmm. At any given time, the guys that come here, they can find find something within themselves and they can do something. I mean, there's just such a small thing that whatever you want to call it that separates the very best from those guys.
Right. Well, I think my favorite line from that column you wrote was, this is like I don't know if you didn't call him a mule, but beating Secretariat.
Mr. Ed.
Mr. Ed beating Secretariat.
Yeah.
Oh,
yeah.
man.
Or the old Kansas City A's winning the World Series. Yeah, this was special. We don't get to see much like this in sports.
Yeah. Well, hopefully we'll get to play some between now and the next major or the final major of the year.
If it ever quits raining.
If it ever stops raining. Dad, I got a couple other topics I want to get to today. We want to get to the NBA championship and some other headlines, but I think the one that pertains most for our listenership is the story of the Saints signing Cam Akers, former Clinton standout who has had kind of a journeyman career in his first 5 seasons in the NFL. Akers was in New Orleans, told our buddy Rod Walker that he was still hungry and young, and I quote, "I've got a lot of tread on my tires and I want to rewrite my personal story," which is, great. Come rewrite it in New Orleans. We could use all that offense could use all the help it can get. But he joins. I want to say he's rushed for 2,000 yards over 5 NFL seasons, and he's averaged close to 4 yards a carry last year with the Texans and the Vikings. I don't know what their offensive line situation is. Can't be any worse than New Orleans, but. I think he is still young, and I think it's cool that he's coming a little bit closer to home to kind of try to, change his career.
Yeah, and that running back room is going to be pretty salty.
Yeah, Clyde Edwards-Helaire joined Alvin Kamara already, and they drafted. I think they've got 2 rookies in that room as well. Some pretty good backs.
I think Cam can still play.
Yeah,
I really do.
I think they'll find a way to get him in there.
Boy, Tyler, I'll never, ever forget the time you and I went to South Panola and watched him play.
That opening game of that senior season.
God, it was like watching Superman.
I know.
You remember that pass?
Yes, where he was rolling to his left and he kind of flicked it back. 60
yards in the air and hit the guy on the dead run.
Yeah. I always thought he should have. Florida State should have tried him out
when they had. To him.
They had quarterback issues too. I mean, I don't know why they didn't try, but I don't think it would have changed the career trajectory for Cam, who always did his best work. But between the tackles, he's such a good slasher, and I haven't seen him. I'll be honest. During the season, I don't usually watch anybody but the Saints, but. Just knowing what he has in there and knowing the kind of guy he is, I'm excited to have him in New Orleans.
He gives us one more reason to pull for
as if we needed one.
The hardest guys in the world to pull for.
I was about to say they give us plenty of reasons to not, to give up. So giving us a little hope is nice every now and then. Let's see, the NBA championship, Dad. I don't know if you watched any last night. We're recording this on Tuesday morning.
I did.
The Thunder are 1 win away from a championship after a 120-109 win in a pivotal Game 5. Jalen Williams had 40 points, which is just, I think, and as good as the Gilgeous-Alexander's been, the reigning MVP, it was Jalen Williams with 40 points, including a 3-pointer that sparked an 18-6 run that kind of stopped the Pacers' momentum there when they tried to get it back on track. I'll be honest, I hadn't watched much of the first 3 games, but I've kind of tuned in since then, and it seems to be a pretty even matchup. But just what your thoughts on it so far?
It comes down to this to me: if
Tyrese
Halliburton doesn't suddenly get healthy again, Indiana is toast.
Yeah, he appeared hobbled.
Well, he's been hobbled, but he re-injured. I think it's his calf muscle, but he's such a big part of what they do. I mean, he's really about the closest thing to a superstar in this.
Yeah, for the Pacers anyway, yeah.
Well, yeah. He had didn't have a field goal last night.
No, it was rough.
Yeah, so if he doesn't get healthy, I think it's over.
I think so too. I just think it's cool to have a good series at this point. You and I have been critical in past years, just of the NBA in terms of how it doesn't seem like they start playing defense until this part of the year. And still, if you watch it, there's a lot of wide open threes.
Sometimes they don't play it till the fourth quarter
Right.
of the playoff games. Yeah.
I mean, I remember watching the other night. We watched a lot of the game. I guess that was Friday.
Yeah.
And man, I was just wide open three after wide open three, and it blows my mind. It blows my mind. I mean, I cannot, and I know that I sound like an old man yelling at a cloud here, but like I remember those intense series in like the 90s, and then in the early 2000s, and those Pistons teams that were so good. Man, it seems like they would get after your ass on defense. And it started at the opening tip.
Right.
And I can't imagine. I mean, I know I'm sure there's some analytics out there that, says something about saving it or trying to be playing your best at the end of the game. But man, it just seems like
that game you're talking about that we watched, was that game 2? I think it was game 2 of this series. And in the first quarter, they were about as lackadaisical on defense, both teams, not one team, both teams. And then in the fourth quarter, man, they were guarding.
Yeah.
But like you say, those old Celtics Pistons games.
Yeah. Or hell, the Celtics Lakers in like 2006. You know what I mean? I mean,
that was different. We sound like,
I know.
You're starting to sound like an old fogey.
And as well, I've earned it. That's okay. Dad, the other story I wanted to talk about today, we got the College World Series too. I wanted to get your take on that. Coastal has won 25 in a row now. They've won both of their games in Omaha so far, including Sunday's 6-2 win over Oregon State. I think they're the story right now.
Well, now that Murray State's out of it, yes.
Yeah. I'm interested to get your take on the game so far, whether or not you think they have a real – I think it's safe to say they've got a real shot to win it because they're in the driver's seat on their side of the bracket. And also wanted to get your take on the Rocco's unfolding story, how they had to close Rocco's early because the patrons got drunk and started fighting each other.
Well, let's go to the baseball first, okay? Can we do the baseball
and then we'll do
first?
the fun story. Go ahead.
Yeah, I agree that Coastal's now the story of the tournament, except for this Arkansas pitcher.
Right.
My goodness, did you see it? No hitter.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I did not watch the game, and I hate myself for it. But it apparently was a masterpiece.
It was as well pitched a game as I've ever seen. Fastball was 97, 98. Slider was just breaking off the table. He had complete command of it. He shut down a Murray State team that has been averaging 10 runs a game in the postseason. I know there'll be some people who see that the guy threw a no-hitter in the College World Series and they'll say, yeah, it was just against Murray State. Well, Murray State's hitting the ball like nobody else has been hitting it.
Yeah.
And this guy just owned them.
Yeah, Gage Wood is the guy's name.
Yeah, he's a junior, and he's going to be they say around the 15th pick of the draft. Whatever he is today, it's a little bit higher than it was before yesterday.
Yeah, that was fantastic. And, I think I want to say that was the third no-hitter in College World Series history. So, those don't come around very often. Yeah.
Well, here we are. We're in Jackson, Mississippi, and we're surrounded by all these SEC teams, 13 of them that got in the tournament. And I really do think that that LSU is the team left to beat.
Mm-hmm.
But I sure wouldn't put it past Coastal Carolina to beat them.
I wouldn't either. I mean, it's baseball. Anything can happen. I would love to compare the payrolls of those two teams. They should have that as a stat when they start the game.
My favorite comment of yours on this show in the last couple months has been they should put their salaries on their jerseys instead of their names.
Yeah, I'm all about that. And I think it would be no game probably would that be more absurd to watch than LSU and Coastal Carolina. And I mean, I think I would help to put things in perspective.
Just add a 0 to the LSU number.
Right. Let's just put things in perspective. The Rocco story, we're not moving on until we talk about it. So it's a shot competition.
We've seen it.
Right.
We have not participated in it.
Well, speak for yourself, but it's kind of by the time you get to Rocco's after a game, things are usually pretty sloppy anyway. But they had to close the bar early for a massive brawl. When it was started, which fans started it? I had my suspicions. Have not been able to confirm or unconfirm. But I just feel like this is probably the biggest bull duh headline I've ever seen.
If I've never taught you anything else as your dad, I hope I would have thought I had convinced you that shots are almost always a bad idea.
They are, but you gotta understand, sometimes folks' decision-making is a bit impaired. And, wild things happen. I've been in Rocco's when it was a mob scene before. It's a lot of fun. I would not want to be in there when a brawl broke out. I'll say that. That's my favorite story of the week, by the way. One more thing to get to, Dad, before we get out of here today. I only bring this up because I mentioned it on the show a couple of weeks ago. At the time, I could not believe that the Red Sox cornerstone player, Rafael Devers, was refusing to play first base for the team that gave him a franchise record $313.5 million contract. This weekend, Devers was traded to the San Francisco Giants for a right-handed pitcher and a prospect. I saw Red Sox CEO Sam Kennedy and Chief Baseball Officer Craig Breslow did a conference call with reporters where they cited a lack of alignment with their franchise player as why they moved on. I couldn't believe it then, and I can't believe it now, that there was a Major League Baseball player
making $313
million over the course of his contract, refusing to play first base, right? First, he didn't want to move to DH. Then he didn't want to play first base.
Oh, man, they make you scoop up those low balls,
I mean, yeah, for $313 million, you can get out there and try. I mean, it was an unbelievable story then, and it's even more so now.
Good on the Red Sox.
It is good on the Red Sox. I would hate to be a Red Sox fan watching their franchise player walk out the door after the team let Chris Sale walk in free agency and traded Mookie Betts to the Dodgers in his prime. And, I know there's nobody left alive, but, I mean, they traded Babe Ruth. They traded Mookie Betts. They let Chris Sale walk. I mean, it's just...
All that's bad. Getting rid of a guy who won't play first base when you're paying $313 million, that is not bad.
Right. I agree. However, I think his production will be kind of hard to replace. And much to the dismay of Red Sox fans, the trade came after they had won 5 in a row, including sweeping the Yankees. So, I mean, there's a lot of outrage there. But, I mean, to me, it's a no-brainer. If the guy, lack of alignment is the nice way of saying, the guy didn't want to play for us. Didn't want to play the position we needed him to play.
Just, if you're a Red Sox fan, you just go to the second prettiest ballpark in the world and drink your $10 beer and enjoy a great sport and thank your stars that you're not paying a guy $313 million to cop out on you.
Yeah, well, maybe so. I don't know if you've met Boston baseball fans. Only enjoying it if they're winning, those guys. And I can say the same about the Braves. What do you do if you're a Braves fan? You
punt.
That's
mixing metaphors. Yeah.
Yeah. I thought you were going to say drive to Gwinnett. Try not to get a Dewey on the way back.
Two quick things.
Okay.
Jake Mangum continuing to prove what we've all known here in Mississippi. You give him a chance to play, and he's going to hit. 3 hits last night, which is Monday night, a double, 3 RBIs. The guy's just money. Another shout out to a guy we've had on the show, Connor Griffin, who got promoted to high A ball and has just continued to slap it all over the field.
Yeah. I mean, his numbers have just absolutely skyrocketed. Mangum batting .315, just so you know. And, you know, it's been, I want to say it was like 40, I think he's got 40 hits now and 127.
And it's not just that. He makes the plays in the outfield, whichever outfield position you put him at. He steals bases. He's great in the clubhouse. The other players love him and love to play with him. And,
yeah,
I mean, what took you so long?
Yeah, right. Well, happy for Jake. We'll have to have him on soon to talk about his I would say resurgence, but he's been doing this. You know what I mean? It's just he's finally getting a chance to do it regularly.
And at the major league level.
Yeah.
Where you know, the pitchers are always around the plate. Almost always around the plate. At these lower levels, hitting's actually harder.
Yeah.
But he's hit at every level he's ever been at.
Yep.
I'm just happy for him, happy for his family, happy to see it.
Yeah. You sound proud of him.
I am. Yeah.
Good. Dad, what are you looking forward to the most this next week?
Well, I'm supposed to play in a golf tournament this weekend if it ever stops raining. Actually, it's supposed to finally quit raining and be 95 degrees.
That's pretty warm. I'm getting out of the South. I'm going north.
Yeah, don't brag.
I know. Tomorrow I'm going to see well, most people are, by the time they get this show, I'll already be there. I'm going to see the Cubs and the Brewers tomorrow at Wrigley. What's your favorite? What's your favorite? I know you. I remember my 10th birthday. It had to be 11th. 10th we went skiing.
Yeah.
And then we went to Wrigley Field. That was the day that you famously did not catch the foul ball.
I've been going to major league games all my life. I had one foul ball came right to me. We were at Wrigley Field. I'm keeping score on the little scorecards that you pay a quarter for at Wrigley. I reached up with one hand.
Wouldn't drop the beer. Had a beer in one hand, reached up with the other one, smacked your palm, fell into the row in front of us, and that little old lady got it for her grandson. Good for her.
Nice ending.
Yeah, not as nice as I would have liked. Would have loved to have that foul ball. Would have been a hell of a birthday memory. It's a memory anyway, and I just don't have any souvenirs.
But the best thing about it was when you looked up at me and said, "Dad, you've always told me you got to use 2 hands."
Yeah, well, and that was when beer was reasonable, for the record. All right, guys, that's all the time we got in here. Thanks for tuning in. We'll be with you back next week, and everybody be safe out there till then.